we're going to kick you in the teeth. All right. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
You like that? You like that?
Scott, did you come up with the correct response? Who wanted to kick that field goal?
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina.
Welcome to the NFC North podcast. Welcome to the NFC North podcast. We live in a world where the Lions are tied for first in the NFC North. I'm your resident Lions fan, Eric Kiska, and this is...
Cole William Whitlaw Gibson, resident Packer fan, Formula One extraordinaire, super fan, and I'm just excited that football is starting this week. And to my left...
Yo, what's up? It's Blaze, your non-resident Bears fan. We're also tied for first, so, off to a pretty decent start, I guess. It's a four-way tie. All things considered.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of like the best way it could start outside of starting, all of us starting 1-0. All of us starting 0-1 is kind of like the next best, thing for all of us, right?
See, we're all used to the 17-week season, so we just wanted to get this crap week out of the way, and now the season starts next week.
I'm
really
confused. Smart. The season hasn't started yet. Last week was just preseason. Come on, we got 16 games to go, baby. Packers number 1.
I was so happy by the outcomes from last weekend that I stabbed myself in the ear. I got an industrial piercing right here. You can see it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Take that, Dad.
Yeah. My first piercing. We're going to talk about tattoos later, too, just to piss off all the parents. So we'll see you guys then. But anyway,
body modification is the best modification.
Yes. No, actually, the piercer, he kept on talking about how mutilation should not be a bad word, how everybody uses it as a bad word. But, like, mutilation is, like, can be a good thing if you do it positively.
Positive mutilation.
Yeah. Positive mutilation. All right. Well, let's dive in here. Saints versus Packers. I think I just want to start right here. 38-3. The Saints won. What the hell happened? Jameis pantsed Aaron Rodgers and spanked him right in front of the classroom. That's what happened. But Cole, what are your thoughts? I just want to hear from you. You were at the game, so.
Well, first off, I woke up Sunday morning. I watched the Formula One race. It was truly great. And then I don't remember anything after the Formula One race. Daniel Ricciardo won. And then I just blacked out, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. So obviously I went down to Jacksonville, went to the game, had a great time. Jacksonville Stadium, kind of shitty, but they have a pool. So, to each their own. The game fucking sucked. Like, it was a shit show. Like, that Packers... It was bad on all fronts. I mean, the Jenkins, he moved to left tackle for Bakhtiari. He actually did good. Our rookies that we got for the offensive line were meh. Kevin King, shocking. He fucking sucks. They had Jameis threw to his side twice. Once was for a 70-something yard touchdown, and once was for like a 50-some yard catch. So he has 100% completion rating against Kevin King. So I don't know why he's still on the team or even out there at this point. So it was a hard game. Rodgers threw 2 interceptions. One of them, I think, doesn't even really matter because it was at the end of the game, and he was just like, none of this fucking matters. I'm just going to throw the ball as far as I can and see what happens, and, interception. So, but, positive things, if we go over to, like, this is for my boy Brett, the StatCast, last year, the team that lost to the Saints week 1, the Bucs, they won a Super Bowl. I know everyone's tweeting about how they lost the same score. It wasn't the same score. It was 34-23 or something like that. But regardless, they still lost to the Saints and then won the Super Bowl. And guess what? Last time Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions week 1 was in 2010 where they won the fucking Super Bowl. So it seems like everything's lining up for Green Bay. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be a little worried. Because Pac's back in town. We're lining it all up. God's on our side. The deck's stacking up. It's going to be a good 16-0 season for the Pack. We're going undefeated, baby.
16-1, yeah, but Blaze.
It's not a 17-game season. Okay, that's a preseason game.
All right, Blaze. I'd say that you could shit talk, but you got pantsed yourself. But what did you think about this game?
Oh my. Okay, so the only thing I enjoy way more than as much as a Bears victory is when the Packers just get to pants the way they did. It was so nice to see after watching a hard-fought Lions game, a hard-fought Vikings game. Got to see what these guys were all about, and then Packers coming in that 4:00 slot. My goodness, it was something to behold, to be sure. I think Jameis Winston played way better than I thought he was going to play. He is the first person in history to have 4 touchdowns and under 100 yards, which is kind of cool. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers just didn't look like he wanted to be there. So it's like, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. It was very good to see old Aaron Rodgers just get hung from the rafters in Duval of all places. So it's week 1, who knows? But after all that trash that our old boy Cole was talking, I just kind of like to sit back and I just want to marinate myself in just his misery right now. So I'm glad you let him go first.
I just want to say I was always a Jameis Winston supporter, and he got LASIK. That motherfucker's a bad dude now. Just saying it.
Jameis looked amazing, and especially just for how horrible. I'm not even horrible. We all thought the Saints wide receivers were just gonna be bad, and he just he spread it out, man. He had 5 touchdowns, but it was so efficient. That was the interesting part about it. He was, just tossing it all over the place. Only 148 yards, 14 of 20, but you have 5 touchdowns. That's a crazy stat line. My only thought is that, Rodgers, must have been doing mushrooms with his hippie fiance in Hawaii this whole summer, gambling on horses, complaining about upper management, and he just didn't show up prepared, I just don't think he showed up prepared for week 1. I don't know how this bodes for them on the whole season, but, it's never good to look like that, obviously. But from what we know from Aaron Rodgers, I think he will be okay. It's just he came out just with his head up his own ass. So
the whole team did. No one played good.
Yeah, they're still the favorites in my book. I'm going to cross it off as just a loss, a great loss. Going to hold on to it for at least another week. But like I said, it's September. There's nothing to be worried about yet. So
the defense not looking good too. That is something to be a little more concerned about. But Aaron Rodgers not looking good is one thing, but that whole defense letting up 38 points. Damn. That was just surprising.
Smith. Yeah, Zadarius Smith was hurt, so that we had to deal with that. Plus, real football isn't played when it's 85, 90 degrees outside, so they had rotate guys in and out the whole time. It's one of those games where they the moment they stepped out on the field, they were losing. It didn't matter what they did. Everyone played bad, and nothing was going to save that game, and you just gotta just put it all behind you and move on and just go to the next week and pretend that never happened, which is exactly what I do with most of my problems. Just push them away, move on, never happened.
Bury them deep down. Okay, well, let's move on to the Vikings versus the Bengals here. Bengals won 27-24. Blaze called the exact score, and it was still an exciting game. It went into overtime. Vikings looked really sloppy, though. They had 12 penalties that amounted up to 116 yards of penalty yards. They were down 21-7, came back, but this is always the story with Kirk Cousins. He puts up these amazing stat lines. He makes you think that he can be the guy, and then he just can't carry you over the finish line, you know? And this is the story time and time again, and I don't think anything's going to change here. Blaze, what did you think about the game?
Well, first of all, I'd like to give myself a pat on the back. I called it exactly. The Notre Dame type of, I go into like a fifth dimension when I predict these games. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I knew the Bengals were going to be better this year than they were last year. I know they still had offensive line problems. They didn't have protect Joe Burrow's the greatest. But he made the passes that counted. Jamar Chase looked amazing. T. Higgins looked amazing. Joe Mixon ran all over the Vikings, which I'm kind of surprised about. And then on the reverse side, I mean, Delvin Cook really wasn't getting it going, especially in the first half. Justin Jeffries was completely taken out of the game. And Adam Thielen had a fantastic game. I believe he had 2 touchdowns, and that second one was actually really impressive. But like Eric said, when the chips are down and the game's on the line, Kirk Cousins, I think, they had at least 2 possessions in overtime, right? Couldn't come up with it once. Let the defense finally just got too tired, and the Bengals put them away with that field goal. So very concerning for the Vikings. And I know they don't have anyone to defend themselves, so I'm not going to be too beat down on them. But yeah, not good. Not good signs to start the season.
Cole?
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, I love the game. I was not surprised that the Vikings choked towards the end. Kirk Cousins is really good at that. I mean, he didn't play terrible, but they just couldn't pull it together. I mean, Joe Burrow, that dude was awesome last year until he got hit a lot. He looked really good this game too. I mean, he threw 2 touchdowns, 261 yards. 20 for 27, but I'm just happy that Jamar Chase got the yips out of him, and he looks like the real deal, and him and Joe are going to have an awesome year this year, I think, as long as they can keep him healthy. I mean, that's like the biggest thing, right? Like, the Bengals were they were in a lot of games while Joe Burrow was just eating, body shot after body shot, and then eventually caught up with them, and then that team sucked, so... I think they'll be I think the Bears are gonna have a little hard time next week. I'm just saying it looked pretty hard for them to win. But
yeah,
it was a good game. That game was awesome.
Jamar Chase, it reminded me a lot of what we all were talking about with Sewell. Both of them, we were just like, what's going on this preseason? These guys look horrible. They were both top 10 picks. Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase looked good, and Sewell looked good too. Like, it was very surprising to see that, I guess. But then when you just take into account that it's just preseason, then you need to let these guys have some breathing room, especially, like wide receivers. They might take a bit to get on the same page as their QB. So yeah, I'm not worried. I think the Bengals, they're going to bring it to the Bears next week, but more on that later. Next up, let's do Rams versus Bears here. 34-14. Man, Stafford, he, like I was saying, he looked like that guy that, he was missing something all these years, not having good coaching, not having the right team, I guess. And he just came out with Sean McVay and completely decimated the Bears. And he looked like the real deal. And also, Andy Dalton looked like exactly the guy where we left him. He limits the offense. That's the bottom line. He limits the offense every time. He's such a mediocre QB. Blaze, what do you think?
So that game was disappointing yet predictable. Again, I sort of called it last week. I was trying to be a homer at the end, trying to save face. But, this is the Bears team that I thought they were going to bring to the table. Matthew Stafford carved up the defense, which, the problems that we thought we had at DB were there. He hit them on every level. Henderson had a great game. And then the defense just... It's the one thing as a Bears fan that I can always kind of count on. And right now, as soon as they double team Mac, no one else is really stepping up as far as pressure goes. And then the secondary is just kind of in shambles. When you see, Eddie Jackson not playing well, that's when you start getting start breathing a little harder than I really wanted to. And then the offense, I think Dave Montgomery had a fantastic game. He broke off that 40-yarder, like the second play of the game. And he actually ran pretty good. I think he had 100 yards, 101 yards, and a touchdown. So really surprised on that. I thought the offensive line played a lot better than they probably get credit for. Aaron Donaldson was put in check basically most of the game as far as, getting to the quarterback. And then you get to Andy Dalton. That first interception in the end zone, I immediately just thought of this podcast where I've been defending Andy Dalton this entire time. And right now, I don't know, because I see Justin Fields come in. He scores his first touchdown on a rush. He goes 2 for 2. Yeah, they were more gadget plays. I think a lot of players would have made the plays that he made, but like Eric alluded to, it's he looks like he meshes with this offense more than Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton just kind of looks like a body right now, when Justin Fields looks like the guy that can take us to the next level. So in conclusion, after that long-winded rant, Bears did not look good. Next week is a great chance to bounce back at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, who I just praised. So it's going to be a bigger challenge than I want to admit. But if we can turn around next week, let's see what happens. Bad week though.
Colt.
Yeah, I've always been a big Stafford proponent. I thought he's always been good, and he came out swinging, man. I mean, he played awesome. He played like he, as Kelly Stafford said it, he hasn't liked playing football for a long time, but you know what? He likes playing football now. And he tore him up. The Bears looked with Andy Dalton did not look comfortable out there. He didn't look good. I mean, he got sacked 3 times. Aaron Donald did get a sack, so I just want to say they didn't shut him down completely, but keeping him to 1 sack is honestly pretty good because that dude's insane. But I am just very confused by the whole Matt Nagy just throwing Fields in, and he throws the ball twice, 2 completions, and then gets a rushing touchdown. And they're like, good job, Justin. Get back on the bench. We got to get Andy back out there to lead the team to a mediocre performance and a loss. So, but it's. I mean, that's Nagy's whole prerogative. He hates offense. He hates having fun. He hates scoring points. So that's all he. Once he saw Justin Fields do good and score a point, he was like, oh fuck, we gotta get this guy back on the bench. I can't have him tainting my perfect record of having some of the worst offenses in the league. So, but that the game, I enjoyed the game mostly because of how the Bears fans reacted all over the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, I think the big question for actually a lot of the Lions fans here after watching that game with Stafford is, will he continue this all year? Were we really the ones always holding him back? And that's going to keep coming back again and again. But they have Tampa Bay in week 3, Arizona in week 4, so we will see what Stafford is really made of. I feel like the Bears secondary it's very thin. They should not have gotten rid of Kyle Fuller. They apparently had to for cap reasons, but I feel like Ryan Pace could have found a way around that. And it was just shown so easily that Stafford could carve up that defense. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough year in the secondary. Even if they do eventually start Fields and the offense looks better, I just don't think this defense will be where it's at. They won't be able to make up for the loss of Kyle Fuller and also Khalil Mack. He's another year older, so it's worrisome for sure. Well, anyway, I guess we will go on to the Lions at Packers. Unless do you want to get one more word in there, Blaze? Because I was just crapping all over the team, but.
Oh, what? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm like, do you want to get one more word in there, Blaze? I don't know. You were looking
Listen, I completely agree with you guys. I don't think the Bears showed their best. I think the defense is a lot better than what you're saying. I completely think that the DBs need to work on whatever it is they need to do. But I have seen them, play better than this. So Stafford might have just had, the I'm free game, and we'll see if he doesn't do that to every other defense as well. So maybe the Bears are just the first in a long line of just him picking defenses apart.
We'll see. Well, let's move on to Lions versus 49ers. Last game, 41-33. 49ers win. They, had the game pretty much in the bag, and then they pretty much went into like prevent defense. And Goff, he had a lot of easy throws, and there was, our offense came back, and I did like how the team showed a ton of grit, ton of heart. That's, what we were hoping we'd get with Dan Campbell. You want to see this team, like, I haven't seen this team play with that much grit and heart in 3 years under Patricia, because nobody liked Patricia, obviously. You could tell that these guys liked playing for Dan Campbell. The talent just was not there. Like, our wide receivers had tons of drops today. And then also, two more notes here is that Taylor Decker, he had finger surgery and is out for at least 4 weeks. We moved Penei Sewell over to left tackle, and he looked amazing. He pretty much handled Bosa. Like, he let up a few pressures, but did not let up a sack against Bosa. So that was really promising after how rough he looked this preseason. But then Jeff Okudah, he ruptured his Achilles and is out for the whole season. And if that's, that's just the omen right there. I think this guy's a bust, and it could be one of the worst top 3 draft picks of all time in Lions history. And that's, yeah. Ooh. But anyway, Blaze, what did you think?
NFC North game of the week by far. That whole last, couple of series where they came back, I was on the edge of my seat. They showed a lot of, like you said, they just showed as much gut as you could possibly want. Jared Goff looked a lot better than, I think a lot of us gave him credit for, especially what he was coming into. My boy Cephas, not Cespedes, had a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. DeAndre Swift is exactly who I thought he was going to be. I can't think of his name right now, but your center was the number 1 rated Pro Football Focus.
Frank
center.
Ragnow. Yep.
Ragnow, that's it.
He's good.
Sewell was 11th. And yeah, did you come back against a lot of their backups? Sure. But, that onside kick was amazing right off of Kittle's face mask. I had such a fun time watching that game, and there's no such thing as a moral victory, but at least it feels like you guys are taken care of in as far as coach leadership goes. So hopefully, you guys keep drafting well, and maybe you'll be up with the the other guys in the North. Well, assuming everyone else does better after this week. But yeah, great game, funnest game of the week, in my opinion.
Cole?
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, like Blaze was saying, I think MCDC really showed like a culture change in the game. Obviously you didn't win, and obviously, the 49ers blew you out in the first half and they just coasted, but it was, I'm sure, even for me, it was like nice to see a team that just didn't just give up. I mean, like the Lions with Matt Patricia, it was just like, fuck, man, we lost, and it's like, dude, it's the first quarter. Like, MCDC, he will never give up. I mean, that's like his whole style, and I think that's awesome. They did show a lot of grit, and I mean, Jamal Williams had a good game. I miss him, but Green Bay's got a pretty good backfield, so it's good to see him do well. Swift played well. Goff wasn't terrible. I mean, he never threw the ball too deep. He's a big check down guy, big short passes and stuff, but it worked. And I honestly thought I might never see an onside kick recovered again after all the new rules and how they basically, the kickoffs are almost pointless at this point. And the fact that he just beamed Kittle right in the face and was able to get it.
That was like something out of Charlie Brown, I swear.
Yeah, for real.
That was awesome. So it was a very fun game, and for it to be like that big of a blowout in the first half, and for it to be an entertaining game till the end is just it's a feat, and it shows that maybe the Lions are they're here to play, and MCDC isn't just going to let them roll over. And he's not here to tank. He's not here to get draft picks. He's here to play hard-nosed football and try and turn the culture and stuff around. Okuda getting hurt sucks, but I mean, he hasn't been very good for a while, and this might be a good way to see some new guy step up that could be awesome and could be better, and might not get juked out of his shoes from 7 yards deep. But then again, maybe that's why he got juked out of his shoes from 7 yards deep, because his Achilles was on the verge of exploding. So hate to see it, but all in all, great game. And the Lions are, I think they'll be the trap game. They'll be the trap team, right? Like they don't have necessarily all the pieces and stuff yet to be a good team, but they have the heart and the grit with MCDC, and they're not just gonna roll over and give up. So some team will probably get trapped and fucked over by them, and it won't be the Packers on Monday Night Football. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I feel bad for Okuda, but like honestly, I think he made our defense worse, and I actually think that we might look better in the secondary after he's gone. It's kind of a harsh thing to say, but I feel really bad for him. But geez, man, I think he's a bust, and it's sad to say. I think a couple more notes. I think our run game looked very good with Jamal Williams, like you guys were saying. Swift, he was great at. He was that pass catching back that we need. And then also, like Sewell, like I was saying, he was looking great. And I don't know what's going to happen when Decker comes back from his surgery out for 4 weeks. I kind of hope that we leave Sewell at left tackle, because obviously he was not looking good at right tackle. Might have just been the preseason, but I think Sewell has that chance to be a top 3 offensive lineman. And Decker, he was always more of like a top 10 or top 12 guy. And I think Decker, he played a year of right tackle in college. I know he's been in the league a while now playing left tackle. I say just put him over at right tackle, and if he doesn't like it, we're rebuilding. Just trade him to where he wants to go, get a pick, and call it a day. Like, I want to see Sewell left at left tackle. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now on to our fun topic. Tattoos, and why we got the ones we have them. So, Blaze, you have some of the most interesting tattoos. I only have one tattoo, so you have several.
You only have one?
Yeah.
I have six, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got, what are some of the ones you got?
So, I guess the most noticeable one, I have, I can't really show it on the camera, but if you're watching on YouTube, but I got the PBR tattoo. I got it watercolored as the fill-in, which is really cool. I love it. I got that last year during the pandemic. Well, I got the outline my first week in Tampa, because there's a street called Ybor, and it's kind of like their version of Bourbon Street, I guess. And there's like tattoo parlors and bars and shit like that. And I went to this punk bar, and they were like, "Oh, you love PBR?" I was like, "I love PBR. I'm from, basically Wisconsin." So they told me that they would comp my drinks for the rest of the night if I got a tattoo of PBR. So I ran up and down the strip looking for someone. I know. I ran up and down the street looking for someone available, and yeah, they got it done. They didn't ask me if I was drunk or not, which was awesome. And I got the outline done, and I got 5 free beers. So I paid $60 for $15. Smart.
That's a hell of a story, man. And then you got. Oh, sorry. Yeah, then you got the Elmo tattoo also.
So yeah, then this was just for poops and giggles. I'm really big. If you follow me on social media at all, I'm really big with memes. So to commemorate that, there's a famous GIF of an Elmo, and there's fire behind him, and his face is melting, and he's screaming. And I got that on my ankle because I'm really just not smart with my body sometimes. But I also, they like the idea so much because I originally went in, I graduated from Southern Illinois University. So I got they're the Salukis, which is an Egyptian dog. So I got the maroon paw print on my leg, but they like the Elmo idea so much, they gave me a discount. So I got them both on the same day. And then I got, it says Carpe Omnia. That was my first one, which, long story short, there's a common Latin phrase called carpe diem, seize the day. Me and my friend thought we could do one better, so our cheers was carpe omnia, which means seize everything, take it all. And that was just kind of my dumb first tattoo idea, just to see how it would feel. And then my last big one is I won $1,000 on a scratchy Winnie. So to celebrate, I always wanted a tattoo where people were like, "Oh, that is such a sick tattoo." So it came to me in a dream that, well, what if the tattoo wasn't actually like, it was sick, like has a temperature and stuff. So my tattoo is a wolf with an ice pack and a thermometer. And it's really weird because everyone says that the eyes look like a furry, which kind of like freak me out because I have it on my body for the rest of my life. But but yeah, that's my sick wolf tattoo. So that's my old dad joke for you guys. And those are all my tattoos.
Yeah, Cole, you got one recently, right?
Yeah, so I recently joined the tattoo club, the Skin Mod Pod. I got it's like a traditionalist tattoo of a Grim Reaper, but he's getting ready for his morning day of slaying, and he's drinking his cup of coffee, and it says "Death Before Decaf."
Nice.
I have a very strong addiction to caffeine. I work out in the field. I'm a field engineer, quality control. So I work in construction all the time. I wake up at 4 a.m. fucking 7 days a week for way too many days in a row. So without caffeine, I would be dead by now. And the worst thing you could possibly do is give me a cup of coffee that's decaf, because I will be very, very upset. I'm already not a morning person, and there's been a couple of times where the guys thought it'd be funny to give me decaf, and it was not a fun day for them, because when the field engineer and QC guy gets all pissy, I'm gonna make fucking everybody's life miserable. But yeah,
that was a pretty cool tattoo though.
Yeah, that's my first one. I got a couple more on the way. I think I got scheduled in the next couple weeks to get another one, so I'm hoping to get it before the wedding in October. So I'll show Eric another one while we're down there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a tattoo of Michigan on my calf, and it goes over to my shin. It was actually originally a cover-up. I got a tattoo in college my freshman year. Actually, when the same year Blaze was going to school with me, except I think you left before or after the first semester, right? So I got this in the second semester. And it was my friend just had a tattoo gun in his dorm room. And I got a tattoo of something. It's a poem called Meziker, which means to remember, and it looked so bad. It looked like somebody sharpied it on me. I'm not gonna name the guy, but yeah, not a great tattoo artist. And so I got a cover up when I moved back down to Ferndale, and Michigan is where I was born and raised, and spent my time in college here. And I have the Northern Lights in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Because there was one night I went out, saw the Northern Lights, and it was just like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Will always stick with me throughout my whole life. And then the Lower Peninsula is just like pine trees and the moon and the stars. And I don't know, just is kind of my love for nature and love for Michigan. So
very cool. Very cool.
I do want to get one more. Sorry, one more. My wife and I want to get one of our cat maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah. So anyone under the age of 18, any kids out there, tattoos are great. Highly recommend getting them. If you know someone with a tattoo gun, let them practice on you. Who cares? Yep. Worst case scenario, you get a laser or you get it covered up. It's all pain. It doesn't matter. Pain's temporary.
Face tattoos aren't that bad either. I don't mind face tattoos.
Come on.
Oh, you'll definitely get a job for sure. I do want a stick and poke tattoo though. If anyone wants to hook me up with a prison tat, I don't care. I'll get like a sailboat or something. I just want to know what it's like. That's just my
friend.
So
my friend got a stick and poke, and it just says "babe," and it's like right on his like pelvis, and it actually looks really fucking cool.
My brother has an outline of a UFO and the initials for "I want to believe" on his thigh. It's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. So
nice. That's pretty awesome.
All right, well, on to next week. So I was struggling where to start here. I think we should start with Packers versus Lions on Monday Night Football, because I think that'll be, it'll be an interesting one. I don't know if it actually will be, though, just because, Rodgers and the Packers looked so bad last week. I don't think that's going to stay. I think they're going to get a fire put under their ass. And I think, you could wonder, is Rodgers just like permanently like this now? But yeah, I think that would be misleading to think. So I think it's going to be a rebound week for the Packers. Cole, what do you think?
Yeah, Rodgers has never thrown, back-to-back multiple interception games. He's gonna come out swinging. He obviously a lot of issues during the off season that he didn't like to talk about, and now everyone's blaming all that stuff, of him hanging out with the Teller family and having a good time with his fiance and enjoying his off season like normal fucking people. But he's going to come out and he's going to make the Lions' life miserable. I mean, the Lions already have a questionable secondary. He's going to throw for 5 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon did look decent last game, and I think he's going to be pretty fucking good this game, too. The only issue, again, is the Packers' secondary with Kevin King. But thankfully, Jared Goff only throws the ball 10 yards, so I'm sure, Alexander is going to be able to run over there and save the day, but I think it'll be a good momentum game for Green Bay to win, get their confidence back, and make themselves feel better about beating up little kids.
So you were saying, just real quick, you were saying that Rodgers was having fun this offseason. Tom Brady does not have an offseason. That's the difference.
Oh.
Well, I don't give a shit about Tom Brady. He still lost to the Saints week 1 too, so I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
It has a lot more ships, though.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tom Brady has a lot more ships than literally every fucking person, okay? So, Aaron Rodgers has as many Super Bowl wins as all of the NFC North combined. Because the Lions haven't won shit, the Vikings haven't won shit, the Bears won once off a fluke in the 80s that no one remembers. Because we're all
15-1! We had the best defense of all.
No. Yeah, hey, you weren't even alive, so it doesn't even fucking matter. I've seen a Super Bowl win in real life. I've seen it. And you know what, Blaze? I got a bone to pick with you because you really pissed me off with your comment in your group chat about how, what was it, the fucking last time the Packers lost this bad was in what was it?
1970.
Yeah, well,
40-0.
I did some more research on this one. You want to know the last time the Bears had a loss that bad? Fucking 2003 against the fucking 49ers. They lost 49-7. And guess what? The Bears haven't won their first game of a season since 2003. That's pathetic. That's really bad. So I don't even want to talk to you. Also, the Lions, last time the Lions lost that bad week 1 was 2018. Not too long ago.
Hey, buddy, I'll fucking bite your kneecaps off. Don't fucking test me.
That was to the Jets, 48-17. The Jets won 4 games that year. Your worst loss was in 2018 against the 4-wins Jets. So you don't have anything to talk about. Vikings fans, we can't even find a fucking Vikings fan to be in our podcast because they don't really exist because they're a bunch of pussies. But the last time they did that, at least theirs was in the 84. But yeah, you know what? The fucking Packers are better than all you fuckers. Just because we lose 1 game doesn't mean you guys are on the same level as us. All right? We're all 0-1, but the Packers are going to be on top, and we all fucking know it. And I'm sick of it.
Okay,
so how do you really feel?
Yeah.
But anyhow, Blaze, what do you think of
the game?
I have to process everything. First of all, can I just say I was really hoping. I've only known Cole for about a month, so I was not expecting this. I thought after he just dogpiled the Saints for 10 minutes last week, I thought he'd humble himself a little bit. But now he's already back to Aaron Rodgers is throwing 5 touchdowns. He's going to light them up. Da-da-da-da-da. Well, you got to put points.
That's correct.
Right now, him, Tom Brady, and Trevor Lawrence are responsible for 48% of the interceptions in the NFL this season, which is a pretty cool stat. Yeah. Anyways, yes, the Packers should win. The Packers better win handily, because if it's a nail-biter, if they let the Lions come back in, even if they win, they let them come back in like how the Niners slept on them, there's going to be a lot of questions in Green Bay. And then when the questions start, that's when Aaron Rodgers starts folding. So they, for their own sake, better start showing up, because this Lions team is not a team to fall asleep on. I think they win handily. I think they take care of business. I say 28-10 Packers, but don't put in Love too early. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? I was going to pick the Packers, but fuck this. I'm going with the upset. Hannibal Lecter is going to come into the fucking game and be like, Clarice, fava beans. And then Dan Campbell is just going to eat everybody alive, and the Lions will win 31-28. Mark it.
What'd you call it?
31-28. Lions will win. I'm calling it right now. Putting my balls on the line here.
I'm for you.
Packers are going to win 38-3 against the Lions.
38-3. Wow. All right.
Blaze, did you have a score there? I forgot.
I said 28-10 Packers.
28-10. Okay. All right. Well, on to Vikings at Cardinals. This should be an interesting one too. Cardinals looked amazing last week. Like it's that third year. Like like Kyle Shanahan. He just like that third year with Kyle Shanahan. He like was amazing with the 49ers. I think Kingsbury, he might have something here where this third year, everything just kind of comes together with him and Kyler Murray. And I think they are going to completely destroy the Vikings. I think one more thing here is Zimmer. He, a mark of a badly coached team is they commit a lot of penalties. They committed so many penalties the last game. I think that Zimmer is going to be out like before the season's even over. I think Cardinals, they're going to whoop them 42-17, start the year 2-0. Vikings are going to start the year 0-2. It's not even going to be a competition. I think Cardinals are the real deal this year, and they're going to be feisty, Blaze?
Yeah. Man, that Cardinals team, I really thought Tennessee was like one of the teams to beat, and then last week happened, and I'll be the first to admit it. You can ask one of my good friends, Kyle Toomey. I talk sports with him all the time. The day Kyler Murray got drafted, I said he should have gone to the MLB. I'm wrong. That guy is just throwing footballs with no feet on the ground. It's just amazing how badly they diced the Titans. And the Titans don't exactly have the greatest defense in the world, but I didn't think they'd get massacred like that. And then on the other side of the ball, oh God, I can't think of his name right now. Some guy had, was it Calais Campbell had like 5 sacks?
Or Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones,
right?
that's it. Yeah. Chandler, 5 sacks on Tannehill. Probably the best running back in the league, did nothing. AJ Brown, kind of got into it at the end. Not a lot of Julio Jones either. So then you add that in with a team that already looks like they're reeling in the Vikings, where you even said yourself, they don't look disciplined. They had so many penalties last week. They lost to talent-wise an inferior team. It was on the road, but I think that's a game that, they should have locked up and they didn't. So it's going to be gut check time for this Vikings team. And versus a superior team, I don't know if they have it in them. I think 0-2, and it might not be pretty. I'm gonna say 17-35. Kyler Murray throws 4 this game.
Gotcha. Cole?
Yeah, I was also shocked that the Cardinals are as dominant and as good as they are against the Titans, and the Vikings, had a pretty bad showing. I think the Cardinals are going to take it to them, and I think they're going to have a phenomenal game again. I don't think they'll necessarily have 6 sacks like they did against Tannehill, but they'll have a very, very good game. Kyler Murray, Blaze, I had the same take. I don't know why the guy didn't go to baseball, but fuck, I guess he knows why he didn't go to baseball, because that dude knows how to ball, and that team has come together in a very quick, like a very short amount of time, and they are a dangerous team now. And I think they're gonna take it to the Vikings, and they'll probably win. I'm gonna say 41-16. I don't think the Vikings are really going to put up a lot of fight, and the Cardinals are just going to keep on rolling.
Yep. All right. I'll have in the Cardinals torching the Vikings. So we move on to Bengals at Bears. Man, this is a tough one. because
This
the
is
Bears,
a close one.
yeah, like the Bears did not look great last week, and the Bengals, they aren't at that Rams level. They might have a very good passing game, but they're not quite like I don't think that Zach Taylor can live up to what Sean McVay just did. But man, like I was just saying, the Bears, their secondary does not look good, and Burrow has all those wide receivers he can throw to. I think it's going to be within a touchdown, but I'm going to pick the Bengals to win 31-24. And I think it could be close until the very end, and I think Burrow and his wide receivers will have some heroics here to take it home. Blaze?
Yeah, I mean that's not a dumb pick at all to have the Bengals win. I obviously got to be the homer here. But I do think, I was talking about gut check time for the Vikings. This is Andy Dalton. I think he's playing for his job this game against his former team. So this is a game where he has to show that he is this team's leader. We're at home, so the crowd will be behind the defense. I think the defense plays a lot better than they did against the Rams, especially even though that the Bengals do have a lot of the aforementioned talent. They have the T. Higginses, they have the Jamar Chases, the Joe Mixons. Joe Burrows is obviously one of the best up-and-coming quarterbacks in the NFL. But I think the Bears end up taking care of business. I think it's going to be too close to feel comfortable about, and it's probably going to put more questions than answers, win or lose this game. But I think the Bears eke this one out on the help of Monty having another big game, and hopefully A-Rob or Mooney does a little bit more in the passing game to help Dalton. So I'm going to go Bears 24, Bengals 17, but I'm not going to feel good about this win. Let's just much.
Now, you're sure about that, Blaze? You're not going to give us two scores and then, like next week just be like, oh, I actually meant to pick the other score.
I think I said 40-17 though. When my,
but then you said I will pick the latter, or did you say I will hope? Like you didn't give us a.
I was hoping. Yeah. No, I gave you two answers. Yeah,
but you can't do that. All right, Cole.
No, I'm locking it in.
Okay.
Okay. I think this will be the closest game in the NFC North this upcoming week. I think the Bengals show that they have a good, decent team. They got a good wide receiver core. Joe Mixon looked pretty fresh. They still got a lot of questions. The Bears don't know what they're doing at anything. But they, Andy Dalton, it's his revenge game, so maybe he'll have a little spunk to him, but Nagy will make sure to snuff that out quickly so he doesn't have any fun out there. I think it'll be kind of a boring game, to be honest. I think it'll be a slow burner, only a couple, I think maybe 3 touchdowns through the whole game, maybe 4. I think it's probably going to be, let's say, the Bears kick. They're probably going to kick a lot of field goals, not a lot of touchdowns, maybe a few interceptions. Bengals are going to go, they're going to be 24-16.
24-16, so you're picking the Bengals.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Packers are going to be the only one that wins in the NFC North. So it's going to be, Packers 1-0, and then everyone else 0-1.
I don't know, man. I think Rodgers is still on his acid trip from Hawaii or something, so we'll see about that.
Hey, man, I don't fault the guy for enjoying his free time and exploring the space-time continuum in his own mind and finding his inner peace. But he's going to kick the shit out of the Lions.
I guess we will see. So, some house cleaning here. We were all 2-2 with the picks last week, and Blaze had the best.
I'm 2.5.
Yeah, Blaze had the best 2.5. Blaze had the best fantasy team of all of us, surprisingly, after he, decided to pick T.J. Hawkinson over Devontae Adams. Either way, he got 70.64 points with his NFC North fantasy team. I got 47.02 points with my NFC North fantasy team, and Cole got 26.36 points with his NFC North fantasy team. So, right now it's Blaze in first, me in second, Cole in third. That would mean Cole picks first this week, and we are going to be doing the fantasy draft live on air. After we were listening back last week, we were just kind of like, this would be a lot more exciting if we did this fantasy draft live on air. So, are you guys ready to do this draft? Cole, you were first.
Yeah, I guess so. I, just to kind of, make pity party for me. I lost every single fantasy football league I was in. I'm in 3, including this one. I lost them all. I lost, I went to the game, Packers lost. It was just a big loser week for Cole last week. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do a little spicy pick. And I think I'm going to take Aaron Jones first.
Aaron Jones over Dalvin Cook. All right, that's fair.
Yeah, who needs him?
Yeah. I think, if you're leaving me Dalvin Cook, I'm taking him, so I'll take Dalvin Cook.
Have him.
All right, I'm going to go David Montgomery.
David Montgomery. I had him in one of my fantasy leagues, and he was, I'm actually kind of excited for Montgomery this year. I think he will be one of the few good options on that team. So, yeah.
And then I'm not going to fuck up this time. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. All right. So
it's a snake trap, by the way.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because Thielen actually looked better than Jefferson last week. And, Cousins and Thielen do have this kind of like chemistry. Ooh, I think... Shit. I'm going to go Adam Thielen. Fuck it. Cole, that's you.
Yeah, I'm going to take Rodgers as my quarterback, and I'm going to pick... I was going to pick Hawkinson, but he's not even going to score a touchdown next week, to be honest. So, you know what? I will, I'm going to stay away from Tunyon because I know he's going to score at least 3 touchdowns, but I just can't be that much of a homer. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to pick Robinson.
Robinson, all right.
Yeah, it's my wide receiver.
All right. I will pick.
Hey, Rob.
Who? I don't know, man. It's like shit. All right, I'm gonna pick Big Cock Hawk. I wanna have my good tight end this week. I think the Lions don't have anybody to throw to there, and he showed that first game that he could do it. So.
I mean, he is the best tight end.
Yeah, I think top 5 tight end this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go back to Cousins just because I think there's going to be a lot of garbage time points out there for him. And then I'm going to go Cole Kmet for the Bears, tight end.
He looked better than Jimmy Graham last week, didn't he? So.
Second-year man out of Notre Dame, baby. Let's go.
I guess this keeps happening to me. And I actually don't mind Jared Goff, if you're in a 2 QB league or, as a backup or having just Jared Goff on your bench for a bye week. I think Jared Goff is going to be playing from behind a lot this year, and I actually don't mind him from a fantasy aspect, so I'm picking Jared Goff again.
I like how no one is ever going to pick Dalton.
Yeah. Dude, play Justin Fields.
The Bears could be playing.
Yeah, play Justin Fields. I will play him over. Yeah, I will definitely play him over Goff most weeks, probably.
The Bears could be playing Bishop Sycamore next week, and you'd be like, I don't know, man. Goff's good from behind.
Yeah.
All right. I guess for tight end, I got to pick Tanyan now. I mean, twist my arm about it. And then for defense, I'm trying. I don't want to pick the Packers, but I think that they are probably going to be the best. But then again, Zadarius Smith and Kevin King. But Goff can't throw the ball far, so I'll just stick with the Packers. I'm going hard Packers this week, so I'll pick Packers by defense as well.
I will pick the Bears because I do not want the Vikings against the Cardinals. So, sorry, Blaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm playing Russian roulette with a loaded pistol. All the chambers. Oof. All right, I'm going to go. Oh, see, I guess I'm just going to have to hope that Aaron Rodgers is still playing Jeopardy in his head. Let's go with the Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
Let's find it.
All right.
I don't like either team. I don't like either team.
Hey, is there a rule? Can you just opt out of not picking a defense? Because that might be the best option. Because he's gonna get negative points for sure.
And by the way, we did find a Vikings fan apparently. If Blaze is telling the truth here, and we're gonna have a fourth guy on the podcast next week. His name is Chris Pratt, the famous Hollywood actor. No, I'm just kidding. His name is Chris though. And we will have a fourth guy on the podcast next week. So, and that'll make this fantasy draft a whole lot fucking harder. But,
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so maybe we have to figure something out there where we can make it easier on ourselves. Like, we got to all pick a NFC North defense each week. Man, that's gonna be rough. But
next week, Dalton has to get.
Yeah, exactly. But so I guess to recap the teams here, Cole got Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Allen Robinson, Bob Tunyon, and the Packers defense. I got Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Big Cock Hawk, Jared Goff, and the Bears Dick. And then Blaze got David Montgomery, Devontae Adams, Kirk Cousins, Cole William Whitlaw Komet, and Detroit Lions. So we are going to roll into this next week, just hoping for the best. So sometimes you just got to plug your nose and go ahead with these picks. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Slim pickings.
Well, that was yeah. We're in the season. We're in the thick of it. This is fun, man.
Feels good.
Yeah, like the Lions didn't get just like they didn't look like they did under Patricia. So I'm just like actually happy to watch them from here on out, even if they suck. I kind of just like watching them. So fuck it.
Just football in general.
Yeah.
Football in general.
So happy it's back.
So yeah. Last night's game. Mm-hmm. Hey, rest in peace to Norm Macdonald, man. We lost a real one.
Man.
Yeah, that was
rip.
That was
been heavy on my mind all day. So, but anyways, hey guys, it's been a pleasure once again. Can't wait to collect my fantasy winnings again next week.
Yeah, okay. I'll make sure to be texting you this Sunday and Monday, Blaze, about shit talking how fucking awful the Bears are.
Yep. Cole,
your name in my phone's gonna be scam likely. That's what you do.
Say goodbye to your kneecaps, Cole. They're gonna get bitten off. That's all I have to say.
All right, good.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. Till next week, guys.
See you guys.